It's a bonus episode. Hey, Henry.
Hey, what's up?
It's nighttime, and
It
we're
is
gonna
nighttime.
talk about a spooky movie.
We will. Actually, when I was at work before I got here in the break room on the television, AMC was on doing a Halloween marathon.
Ooh, what did you see a glimpse of one of them?
Yeah, 5.
Oh, 5, the most forgettable of the Halloween
Yeah,
films.
definitely one of them. Yeah, the
Wait,
Revenge
that
or
was
Return. I don't know.
The Revenge, that's the one with the cute kittens in the barn. That's the part I remember.
Oh, all right.
Remember, there's a couple fucking in a barn, but there's some cute cats.
Vaguely.
Yeah.
Yes, vaguely.
Yeah. All right, Henry, it's Halloween time. We've been knee deep in Elm Street, baby.
Yeah.
And we gotta step on back out to Haddonfield because there's a new Halloween movie in the theaters. It's the first Halloween movie to hit our shores in about maybe 9 years.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's exciting.
It was exciting. Yeah, I saw it about 5 days ago. I think Dan saw it more recently than that.
I saw it yesterday.
Okay. Yeah.
And listen, Jamie Lee Curtis is in it. That's exciting.
Yep. Carpenter had some involvement.
Carpenter had some involvement. That's exciting. One of my favorite filmmakers is David Gordon Green, probably.
Definitely one of your favorite filmmakers. And I was looking through his filmography, and I haven't seen that much, but everything I've seen of his, I've really
He's
liked
one of
a
these
lot.
dudes that is too prolific because I could name like 6 or 7 David Gordon Green movies that are like some of my favorite movies, and then I can name like 4 or 5 that are garbage.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I mean, the one that stuck out, I'd have to look at it now, but I don't need to. The one that comes out the most that I keep forgetting was his movie was the Nick Cage one, Joe.
Yeah. Well, that was a bit of a return to
Jesus.
form for
Okay.
David Gordon Green. I guess we could just talk about David Gordon Green real quick since we're doing it.
Sure, I'll bring him up. Yeah.
So he got his start as a North Carolina film student, and
Okay.
and he made a film called George Washington that was very widely compared to the works of Terrence Malick, and so that was like his shtick for a while. He was like the 25-year-old Malick guy,
Okay.
and this was before Malick came out. He like came back and started making like 100 bad movies. So like,
Well, it's after Thin Red Line, but
well, sure, but I mean, so at this point, Malick had still only made 3 movies.
that's right. That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
So we made George Washington, which was a bit of a masterpiece right out of the gate.
Didn't see it.
Yeah, and then he followed that up with All the Real Girls. And he used all his pals from film school in these movies, and he came out of one of these like really talented classes, like all in like the same couple of years in that North Carolina film school were like Danny McBride and Paul Schneider and Jody Hill, all those guys. They all went to
Oh, I
school
didn't know that.
together. Yeah.
That makes sense. Okay.
Sure. And so All the Real Girls, he brought in Paul Schneider, Danny McBride's in there with a small role. And that, to me, is still his masterpiece.
And I didn't see it.
Yeah. But he's made a ton. After that, You've Got It Open, right?
Yeah.
He followed that up with Undertow, which is a little on the muddled side, but has some really great stuff in it. Then,
So I missed his first 3 movies.
Yeah, and those are really like his calling cards.
I gotta see those.
Sure.
Yeah. I saw the next one.
Snow Angels was a bit of a step towards the mainstream because it had like major actors in it. Kate
but
Beckinsale back in the Underworld days, but it was still like a David Gordon Green movie.
Yeah, it's really low key and indie. I mean, I remember I rented it and not knowing anything much about it. Isn't Sam Rockwell in that?
I believe so. Yeah, I saw that in the
Yeah.
theaters.
Oh yeah, and I thought it was great. But I saw that after I had probably seen my very first David Gordon Green movie and didn't think that much of it. I wasn't crazy about it, but that would have been Pineapple Express.
Well,
his
see what
next
happened.
movie.
See what happened was Green's buddies, Jody Hill and Danny McBride, in between Snow Angels and his next project got really famous. And so he was like, let me dip my toe into your silly comedy waters.
Got it.
And so he directed Pineapple Express for Apatow, and that's a David Gordon Green movie, but it feels way more like the kind of thing eventually that now Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg are doing together.
Totally, yeah.
And then he just like directed a shit ton of comedies. He did The Sitter with Jonah Hill, which I never even bothered watching.
I saw that.
How was it?
I thought it was funny.
Okay.
It's not great, but I thought it was funny.
What else do you see there? I mean, at this point, he also directed like half the episodes of Eastbound and Down.
Right. Can't forget that.
Yeah. So I loved that. To me, is the best comedy thing he did.
And didn't he direct some of Vice Principals too?
Yeah. But I mean, literally, he directed like, if not 50%, like close to Eastbound.
I have a movie right after The Sitter I've never heard of called Prince Avalanche.
Prince Avalanche. Okay, so Prince Avalanche was like his return to low-budget filmmaking. It's basically a two-hander. Like the only real speaking parts in the movie are Paul Rudd and Emile Hirsch, and it's these two dudes painting lines on the highway. That's the whole movie.
Okay.
And it's low-key. It's not like a great movie, but when it came out, it felt really refreshing to me to like see that from this guy again.
Sure.
Yeah.
And then he follows that up with Joe,
which is great.
I've only seen, I realize, 5 or 6 of his movies, and that's still my favorite.
Mm-hmm. That's understandable. Yeah. That was like his best movie, I think, at the time since Snow Angels, at least. And so what's after Joe? He did an Al Pacino movie that I never saw.
Manglehorn?
Yeah, I don't know
Never
anything
heard
about
of it.
that movie. Yeah.
And then you saw his next movie, I think specifically because he directed it, which I passed big time on, which was Our Brand is Crisis.
Yeah, I saw that because David Gordon Green directed it, and it has some moments in it that are nice David Gordon Green moments, but holy shit, Sandra Bullock is garbage in that movie. Like, you know, my threshold goes back and forth with Sandra Bullock, and that is just Sandra Bullock at her most intolerable.
Yeah, I've seen a little bit of it, like on HBO, and she's playing her extraordinarily extra pumped up, nervous tick self.
That's right. You know what I've learned? I have a theory about Sandra Bullock.
What's that?
Hey, you turn on a Sandra Bullock movie and you see blonde hair, turn the other way.
Oh, Blindsided.
Yeah. So what do you do after Our Brand is Crisis? Is this his next movie?
No, it's a one that was on your top 10 of the year in 2017, but I still haven't seen. It's on my queue. Stronger.
Oh, fucking Stronger. Yeah. That movie's underrated, man. That movie is the kind of movie that that's what I wanted from Our Brand is Crisis, because it's like a mainstream movie with like famous actors in it.
Right.
But it feels like a Stronger basically feels like fucking All the Real Girls, but like about this like massive thing.
Right.
And so that was a really fun. I mean, it's not fun; it's sad as shit. But I was so excited when that movie came out.
Sure. Yeah.
All right, and now he's directing fucking Halloween. So this is David Gordon Green, and he is our new director in the Halloween franchise. This is not what people are tuning in to hear about, I don't think. Me opining over the career of David Gordon Green.
No, but it needs to be talked about because it's a massive relaunch, sequel / whatever.
It should also be noted that David Gordon Green is a huge horror fan. And has talked about that for ages, wanting to make a horror movie.
And hadn't done it.
For about 10 years in interviews, would always say that the next movie he's making is a remake of Suspiria.
I read that.
He worked on that shit forever, man. I remember even like Danny McBride years ago when he was on Marc Maron talked about like, yeah, David, he's been working on Suspiria.
Interesting.
And I don't know. I don't know what happened. He just never got it off the ground. And now, weirdly, the week after his Halloween comes out, Luca Guadagnino is coming out with a fucking Suspiria remake.
Oh, really?
You don't know about that?
No.
What are you fucking talking about?
I don't know. I've never even seen the original Suspiria.
Yeah, but this new one, people are pumped about. Tom York did all the music.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Okay. All
And
right.
someone I like is the lead in it, Henry.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is 2.5 hours though. I remember reading that. Who Dakota Johnson is the lead, and then Tilda Swinton is the madam.
Oh,
And,
interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I'm fucking pumped for that movie, but I was pumped for this too.
I didn't know. I couldn't remember that you were a real big Dakota Johnson fan.
I'm a
We
fan
had
of
lot-
Suspiria, and hey, Dakota Johnson was like the highlight of 50 Shades for me.
Yeah, I guess.
And what she was dealing with in those movies, like,
That's a great point.
come
yeah,
on.
Of course. Yeah, of course. Yeah, right. Very true. So now, before we talk about this remake, do you want to get out of the way one of my favorite filmmakers and yours? We did a little ranking for the originator.
Listen, Carpenter is back involved with the franchise. He did a little score for this movie. He was an active on-set executive producer. And so, yeah.
We did not, for some reason. I think when we covered Halloween and Halloween 2, I think we did a great thing going on.
We
good,
weren't
great, bad.
doing this sort of massive ranking thing yet that we've been doing lately.
Okay.
Because the first one we did was like...
Spielberg, I thought, though. No?
I don't think we even did that with Spielberg.
No, I don't know. I don't remember.
I don't fucking know. It was someone super random, dude.
But we did it now.
Yeah. So we ranked all the John Carpenter movies.
Of which I've seen 12.
That is disgusting, Henry.
It is. I have. He's made about 17 or 18. It's not.
Oh, really? Then how have I seen 21 John Carpenter films?
Touche. Fine. So I have 9 to go. Really.
Well, I realized that I've seen
21?
everything. I've seen everything John Carpenter's ever directed, except for Someone's Watching Me, which was like a TV movie he did post Halloween in the late 70s.
You're counting. Okay, 21.
That's right.
I'm fact checking you right now.
I've got them all right here, baby. Henry, I can't believe you're just doing this on air.
I have 18.
What do you mean you have 18?
I'm not counting short films. I'm not counting things he produced or wrote. Directors of 18 films.
Okay, fine. But even if I counted the two Masters of Horrors, but if you take those out, I've still got 19 here.
Okay. Well, all right. So let's so I have a few to catch up on.
That's right. All right. You ready? You ready for this list?
Yes, you're gonna obviously.
You can pipe in 40 minutes when I get to the 12.
He's still one of my favorite directors, though, so I don't care.
Sure. Hey, I see I have 2 12s right here. That's going to be a problem at some point.
And that's where I come in.
All right, we'll figure it out.
He still made more movies that are awesome than many other filmmakers.
I was going.
For me.
Here's how I've been doing these lists. I go through all their movies on Letterboxd and see what I graded them, and that's how I cut them up into tiers. And I was doing this fucking John Carpenter list. We're up to number 7 on the list before I'm even out of the 5s.
Oh, wow.
He's got 6 5s.
I believe you.
And check it out. The first one outside of the 3 column, Henry, is number 17.
Wow.
Yeah, he's good.
He's awesome.
Yeah.
There was nothing out of my 12 with the exception of one movie that's really bad. That was not have some value of some sort.
He's one of my favorite filmmakers of all time. Certainly top 10.
I agree.
All right. Number 21, Henry.
All right, I'm going to sit back and relax.
No, you comment.
I will, because I might have seen some of these.
Sure. Yeah. Number 21 is Elvis.
Okay. Never heard of it. Don't know who that's based on.
What are you talking about? You don't know that in the late 70s, John Carpenter directed a biopic about Elvis Presley starring Kurt Russell as Elvis Presley?
Holy fuck.
Yeah.
That's a real full-length movie.
Yes, feature length. I think longer than feature length. I think it might have been a 2-part on TV.
That's funny. It does not show up in his filmography on Wikipedia.
Well, Wikipedia, that's your problem. You got to go to
I
the
know.
Internet Movie Database.
Interesting.
Here
I
it
wonder-
is, Elvis, 2.5
TV
hours.
movie. Yeah,
2.5
TV.
hours. You got Shelley Winters over there as his wife.
It's a TV movie.
It's got Pat Hingle, superhero count, and Ed Begley Jr. So that's number 21. It's not good.
It's a TV movie.
It counts. Number 20.
I didn't go through his TV stuff.
All right, number 20, I've got his lesser Masters of Horror effort, Pro-Life.
Okay.
All right. Number 19, Henry, is... and by the way, I don't even dislike this movie. You get after 21 and 20, I'm into movies I like already.
All right.
Number 19, Ghosts of Mars.
I passed on that one. Yeah, I didn't want to see that. Yeah.
It's silly, but it's silly in a fun John Carpentry way.
There's got to be one on here. I can't wait for this review. Then go ahead.
Okay, number 18, Henry.
Yeah,
Escape from Los Angeles.
that's a good call.
Yeah, pretty bad movie. Real bad of its time special effects.
Horrifically bad.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
it's a problem that it's basically a remake of the original, not really a sequel.
No, I agree.
Number 17. His final film as of today, which is a not bad little claustrophobic spook show called The Ward.
Oh, you know what? Last time we spoke, you had not seen that.
I think that's true. I watched it just in the last couple months.
That makes sense because I told you I saw it, and you were like, "What the hell is that?"
Yeah,
And
I think it was streaming on like Stars or something.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I didn't think it was abominable, but
Could have used a better
Yeah.
lead performance. Amber Heard, not the greatest actor in the world, but I think some of the supporting actresses were good. I can't remember who they were though.
Meryl Streep's kid.
Oh, she's in that. One of the Gummer twins.
Yeah,
exactly. Number 16, Henry.
Yeah.
You ready? Cigarette Burns. That's the better of the Masters of Horror ones.
Okay.
All right. Number 15 is Starman.
I am a little surprised that was higher than. I mean, yeah, that's pretty bad.
It's
That
not that
movie.
bad. Did you know that I think Kurt Russell was nominated for an Oscar for that movie?
I think you mean Jeff Bridges.
That's what I meant.
Mm-hmm.
Kurt Russell's in so many of his movies. I was looking up Jeff Bridges recently for some reason. I don't remember why.
Because he's awesome.
Did we just watch some? Oh, you know why? I went to go see Bad Times at the El Royale.
Oh, yeah, I might see that this weekend.
Yeah. Man, see,
It's not a franchise. You can tell me your opinion.
chop 20 minutes off of that baby and it's perfect. It is the kind of movie, you're going to see this movie and it's like, oh my God, this was made for Dan.
Oh, really?
It's made
Okay.
just for me. All it is the fucking Hateful Eight in the 60s.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, all right.
All right.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, bunch of characters trapped somewhere together. I love it.
Right. Okay.
All right, what was that? 15? 14. It's going to be Memoirs of an Invisible Man.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
I love that movie.
you know, I've seen a few John Carpenter lists lately. People are making them because of this Halloween movie.
Oh.
I've seen that at the bottom of a lot of them.
Yeah, I don't think that. Look, I remember I saw that movie in the theater. I was a teenager. I loved it then. I haven't seen it in a very long time, but I do remember the last time I saw it as an adult. I still thought it was fucking great.
It's got
I
an
loved
interesting vibe about it, man.
It does. It's very strange, and Chevy Chase is very good, and weirdly is able to act with some pathos.
He can do that when he tries.
Yeah, and yeah, I had another thought and I lost it. It's okay. Go ahead.
You're nailing
What's
it.
next?
Number
Thanks.
13, Henry, is
Mhm.
Vampires.
Yeah, I pass-oled on that too.
No,
man.
that movie's totally good.
That's James Woods, isn't it?
Yeah, you certainly have to ignore that fact, but
I don't care. Yeah, I can ignore
no,
that.
I
just-
know you forget.
it's
He's a great actor, but
no good, right? It's good.
No, it's a totally good movie.
All right.
Yeah. Number 12 is Village of the Damned.
Another one I didn't see, but I feel like I need to see that.
That one's a spook show, man.
And that's key Carpenter, right? I mean, that's like.
I don't think so. I don't think it's super necessary. But, I saw Village of the Damned as a kid, and I loved it. And then my whole life, I remembered that movie as being Children of the Corn.
I knew you were going to say that.
I swear to God. And then a few years ago, I was with Katie, my ex-girlfriend, and we were going to watch the whole franchise, Children of the Corn, together. Yeah. That was the plan. And we put on the first one, and I was like, Katie, you're going to fucking love this. This movie's amazing. And we sat down to watch it, and I was like, I don't remember this movie being so fucking boring. And it's because I was remembering Village of the Damned.
I knew you were going to say that because I have had this, even though I've never seen either of those movies, I've always conflated the two of them. I don't know why.
I never will again.
The titles aren't the same. I have no idea why.
Same title construction, Blank of the Blank, Henry.
Maybe.
And it's about spooky kids.
Yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there you go.
All
right, well, now we're up to my list.
Oh, right. What's your number 12?
My number 12 is Escape from L.A.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So of the ones I've seen, it's my least favorite.
All right. Yeah. My number 11 is his first film, his student film, Dark Star.
Really need to see that. I know Aaron Farinelli is a big fan of that movie, too.
You should especially see it as a fan of Alien, because it's co-written by that dude who wrote Alien.
Yeah. O'Bannon.
Yeah, and there's a lot of shit in there that's like played for laughs that you could tell he was like, this would work, like serious.
Yeah,
and he just put it in Alien.
That's cool. My number 11 is Starman.
All right. Top 10 Carpenters. And these are all Stone Cold classics, Henry.
Not so my list, but most of them are great. Yeah.
Number 10, The Fog.
Okay. My number 10 is The Ward.
Okay. My number 9 is Big Trouble in Little China.
Oh.
I know you're going to have it at number 2 or some shit.
Jesus. Oof. All right. Well, you did see 21 of his movies.
And did I not say these are all Stone Cold classics?
You did. My number 9 is The Fog.
Yeah. Fog's good, man. Rewatched it recently.
It's good. It's not great, but it's good.
I think that's good. Probably true. But Adrian Barbeau, moi. Love it. Number 8, In the Mouth of Madness.
Didn't see it. Sam Neill.
Yep, that's the best of his sort of post-'80s output.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
My number 8 is Memoirs of an Invisible Man.
Very nice. My number 7 is Prince of Darkness.
Another one I didn't see. All right. My number 7 is Assault on Precinct 13.
What a great movie that is. My number 6 is Escape from New York.
Oh, all right. My number 6 is They Live.
What a movie.
It's a hell of a movie.
These are all just Stone Cold classics.
They really are.
My number 5, top 5 Carpenters.
And hang on.
These are heavy hitters. These are the grand slams.
The three-pointers, the touchdowns, the curling.
This is the curling when the puck gets close to the circle.
These are the heavy hitters of the franchise. Heavy hitters.
Henry, I took a long time coming up with this, the ranking of this top 5.
Okay.
The top 5 wasn't too hard to come up with.
Yeah, my top 4 were easy. The 5, 6, 7 were tough.
But this ranking was tough. Okay, number 5, Assault on Precinct 13.
Yeah, great choice. Can't argue. My number 5 is up here because it was a movie I think I derided most of my life. And then when I rewatched it a couple of years ago, I realized how fucking awesome it was. So it's a lot of that going on. And that is number 5, Christine.
I love it. Yeah. What a fucking great movie.
Really is.
Yeah. So great. That no, never mind. I was gonna say it's my yeah, I did. I was gonna say it's my number 4, but it's not. My number 4 is They Live.
Yeah, Oh yeah.
A masterpiece. Just recently rewatched it a couple weeks ago. And not just because I've only seen it once or twice. I've seen it loads of times. Just
Yeah.
wanted to watch it.
Sure. I've only seen it once, but I'll never forget it.
Oh
Yeah.
my God, that fucking
Fight
when he
scene.
first puts on the sunglasses, that whole sequence, like basically when he first puts on the sunglasses. Not that I'm like deriding the first half hour of the movie because I love
Right.
that shit too,
Sure.
but the fucking sunglasses all the way to the end of the movie, including of course the fight scene, is just it's perfect,
Yeah, I agree.
and it's only number 4 on this list.
Yeah, it's a great film. Roddy Piper, met him once on an airplane.
Oh, I miss him every day. The day he died, I rewatched They Live. I had to.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
It was my birthday.
Wow,
I remember that. It was the
That's
saddest
sad.
news. Roddy
sucks.
Piper died on my birthday.
that sucks. My number 4 is Escape from New York.
Love it. My number 3 is Christine.
Ooh, higher than me.
Yeah,
All
very
right.
high. I fucking love that movie.
All right. This was
The best Stephen King adaptation. And there are a lot of great ones.
I was going to ask your opinion of that. Yeah, I'd have to think about that. There are a lot of great ones, but it's obviously I would
mean,
say
it's
in the top
that,
5.
The Mist, Stand By Me, Misery, Shining. That's the top 5.
Take out Stand By Me, throwing Shawshank on the
Oh,
probably
get out of
right there.
here. You and your Shawshank. All right, what's number 2?
Number 3 for
Oh,
me
right.
is one of my all-time
Big
favorite
Trouble in Little
movies.
China. All right,
Saw
what's
it-
number 2?
Saw it too young, but I think I was 8. Saw it in the theater and always loved it. Big Trouble in Little China.
Yeah, okay, so listen. I knew it would come to this.
I know. I was looking forward to this.
The 2 that are left, what do you have at number 2?
I got to go with Halloween.
Me too. I did the same thing. Listen, Halloween, it's a stone cold classic. It's maybe my favorite horror movie of all time.
Yep.
Certainly my favorite slasher movie of all time.
Oh, yeah, of course.
But it's still only number 2. I really do think his masterpiece is The Thing.
I agree. I
Yeah.
agree. I have that movie is just if I were to give somebody a John Carpenter movie to watch, and if I could pick 2, it would be these top 2. But I almost feel like I would pick The Thing just to give them a real taste of every element of his type of filmmaking.
It's a tour de France.
It's funny, it's gory, it's scary, it's beautifully shot. It's perfect.
You broke up, Henry. Can't hear you. The other thing about The Thing, Henry, is it's a group of people trapped somewhere together.
It really is, and it's Antarctica. I mean, it doesn't get any better. You got some great swearing. It has everything. It's amazing. If you've never seen The Thing, folks, fucking buy it. It's on Blu-ray.
The stakes are world-ending high, but the
Yes.
character stuff is in the intimate.
Yeah.
How
Very
about
much
that?
so. The indie intimate.
Yeah.
Copyright. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
Henry.
Here we go. Neither of us have talked at all, not one sentence, about this new movie.
That's right. So, Halloween. By the way, can I get this right out of the way? Don't like that it's called Halloween.
Really?
It's now the 3rd movie called Halloween in this franchise.
Look, if Carpenter's all right with it, I'm all right with it.
I'll get out of here.
What are you going to call it? I guess you could call it Michael Myers or something like that. I don't know.
H4O, baby.
God.
No,
Didn't
you
bother
don't
me.
want that. You don't want that. Call it Strode.
Strode light.
Yeah, Strode. Call it Strode, bro. All right. It's written by Jeff Fradley Danny McBride and David Gordon Green, notably produced by Jason Blum, along with the descendants of Mustafa Akkad, and David Gordon Green directing. It cost about probably $12-15 million to make, is what I'm hearing.
That's really impressively low. Yeah, I see 10 to 15 million.
They want it low, man. Listen, I got Henry. I watched Freddy vs. Jason last night. I know we're not allowed to talk about these movies before we record the podcast about them.
Right.
But I just want to say, in the stats, $30 million budget. Keep budgets on horror movies. They should never exceed 20.
Kudos to this film, man, for making it from 10 to 15 million. I mean, that's impressive. And you don't need it to be anything more.
No.
Especially for this movie.
And Henry, it's already grossed $106 million. It is already the highest grossing Halloween movie of all time.
Jesus Christ.
All right?
Hadn't even been out a week.
That's right. It's breaking box office records. It's getting Boffo Bio.
Wow. Yeah.
All right?
Good for it. Yeah.
You happy about that?
I mean, sure. Yeah.
Jamie Lee Curtis was bragging about it on Twitter. I saw that.
That's funny.
Did you happen to see anything?
No, but that's great. I like her.
Yeah. Great opinion.
She's a very... You know what? You know what it is, man? I just like, you'll like this opinion even more. I've always liked her authenticity. She's a very she just fucking thinks something, she says it.
It's a real hot take to like Jamie Lee Curtis.
No, it's not that. Because I was actually talking to somebody at work about this. I've never really been like a big, huge fan of hers. She's just an actor that's, kind of good, but just made a lot of junk. But, I've always liked her as a person. I thought she was just a very cool person.
I went through a JLC phase when I was like maybe 13. I was like, I had just started getting into horror movies when I was like 11, 12. And so when I got way into Halloween, I had like a little bit of a crush on Jamie Lee.
Sure.
And then
Trading Places, forget about it.
Yeah, sure. She didn't show her tits until she went legit. But then she's in I saw like Terror Train, which I love, and Prom Night and all those movies.
So all right, so let's get into this movie because I do want to talk about Jamie Lee. I have a bold statement city thing to say about her. I don't know if you want me to say it right away.
Well,
should I wait? I'll wait.
Her performance in this movie reminded me quite a bit of...
No, wait. If you say what I think you're going to say, we're having a mind meld tonight between Village of the Damned. Go ahead.
All right. Linda Hamilton in Terminator 2.
We are not having a mind meld.
Oh, okay. What is it?
But you were close. I thought you were going to say Sigourney Weaver in Aliens. The second one.
Sure. Sigourney Weaver and Jamie Lee Curtis are very similar, actually.
Yeah. But along those lines, the reason... bless you. And... Gesundheit. Yes. It's the lovely... The pleasure of having the visuals, ladies and gentlemen. I thought of Sigourney Weaver specifically because Sigourney Weaver was nominated for an Oscar for her performance in Aliens, and I think...
You're a maniac.
And it won't happen, obviously. I think this is an Oscar-worthy performance.
I don't.
I do?
Get out of here.
No. I think she is fantastic in this movie.
She's very good.
I think that when you go back and you look at what she's attempting to do in H2O and Resurrection...
She's great in H2O.
Yeah,
she herself is great in H2O.
I thought she was the best part, but in this one, man, I never felt what I was supposed to feel in those movies, where we're supposed to feel this
part of
pain
that is
and
the
torture.
writing and directing.
Correct. But even so, In this one, it might be age, it might be the time elapsed between movies, but I think this is an incredible and very nuanced performance.
There are a few
in this
things
movie.
in the writing that help this. Number one, okay, we're doing. This is Halloween 2. There was no other Halloween movies.
Right.
That's what we're doing. So it's like the 9th different timeline that they've introduced into this franchise. But whatever.
Yeah, right.
So one thing that does is that Laurie is no longer Michael's brother, which is an interesting thing because a lot of people consider that to be one of like the basic tenets of Halloween, even though it wasn't introduced until Halloween 2. I think it's just one of those things like in Friday the 13th, like you don't really you think of that as being like the Jason movies, even though he's not.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
And I think that kind of works for me. That he's just like some random dude that like tried to kill her years ago.
I think it completely works. I think it's a brilliant choice because I mean I always liked the idea that he's her brother, but when if you watch the first movie standalone. That's the whole fucking premise of it is that it's completely random and freaky.
It's not even conceived of. He just wants to kill her because she like walked up to his house one time.
Yeah, and so right, and so I think it's fantastic. Yeah, that aspect of it.
So that really helps. We're also looking at sort of doomsday preppers, which I think is interesting. Like, there's this whole philosophical vibe in this new Halloween movie where, like, is that a helpful thing to do? Prepare for the end. And ultimately, the answer we get is sort of a combination of the two. Because on the one hand, she did prepare her daughter for this. And on the other hand, she did kind of tear up her family.
Yeah, right on both counts. Right, yeah. Yeah, which, speaking of some of the other casting, I mean, I guess if you want to get into that or you want to talk about more like the through line of the movie or whatever.
I mean,
what did you think of the opening titles and that all throwback?
I loved the opening. Yeah, look, it's interesting because at the beginning of the movie, I was really latching on to any reference to the original movies.
Sure.
And I was getting really excited about that. And then as the movie went on, I got so invested in what they were doing in this movie that became a little bit of a distraction to me. So
yeah.
All my favorite references are in the opening of the movie, and it's not because they're the best references. They're just because I wasn't into it yet.
Yeah, and something somebody a friend of mine pointed out to me something I didn't notice at the beginning. Oddly, I don't know why, but I guess in the beginning in the opening credits, it's in the original the pumpkin is shrinking.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
in this
deflated.
one it's growing.
Yeah.
So I didn't even remember that. I thought it was just the same thing. I didn't realize one was inflating and the other one was deflating.
Well,
that
you need to watch Halloween a few more times.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was really cool. And I gotta tell you, whoever sculpted the pumpkins in this movie, they look great.
Yeah, they're good.
Yeah.
It's good art. It's good pumpkin cutting.
Yeah, I agree.
It's well done. It's well done.
So, as for my favorite reference in the whole movie, did you catch them talking about Lonnie?
I thought I did. You got to remind me because I remember in the movie making a I don't remember what it was. What is it?
They were talking about some crazy kid they went to school with named Lonnie, and that's old Lonnie, Henry.
Can you please?
Of course. Hey, Lonnie, get your ass away from there.
Yeah. We got some very good, I thought, honestly, it was unused audio footage, but it was not. It was somebody doing a Donald Pleasence.
Yeah.
Jesus, wow, was that good. Yeah. I dug that. I mean, I'll just throw it out there, or whatever. I like this movie a lot.
Yeah, me too. I can
it's
tell
got
you
problems,
like it a lot.
But it's got issues.
Does it?
Yeah, but but they are overshadowed by my sort of admiration for what it does. It does we've talked about this a couple of times on the show. It does like an homage, but without it's not a Gus Van Sant Psycho. No offense, I know you really like that.
Thank you.
It's not a Bruce Willis Death Wish.
I don't know even what you're talking about. What was that movie?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this is it's pulling off an homage while doing if not necessarily something new to the genre.
It's an homage only in as much as if you're a big fan of Halloween, there's shit in there you'll notice. But
right.
I really think it stands on its own, and
yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and say this. We covered the Halloween movies a year ago this month.
That's right.
And I was pretty down on it as a franchise.
You sure were.
I did not really enjoy watching them that much.
That was your Nightmare on Elm Street.
I guess
it was. Yeah.
And so for me, this Halloween, the David Gordon Green Halloween, I think is the second best Halloween movie.
I think it's the third best, but sure.
What do you think is better?
Halloween 2.
And I love Halloween 2. Like, Halloween 2 is a classic for me. But, like, are you really being objective there?
I mean, the reason I think that I am being objective is because I have zero emotional or nostalgic attachment to Halloween 2. And that's really just based on what we were talking about when we covered it.
Sure, if we're looking at these movies as like 80s slashers, if we're comparing them to like the Friday the 13th movies and shit, then yeah, Halloween 2 is probably a better time for like a party, like putting it on in the background and getting drunk.
I think that's selling it a little.
No, I don't think it is.
Short.
I think it's great. I love that movie. It's my number 3, probably.
Right.
But
right.
I just think like with all the shit we can talk about in that movie, the dude slipping on the blood and the fucking hypodermic needle in the eye.
For sure, for sure.
And the fucking the ridiculous horny paramedic guys and the kid coming in with the fucking razor apple and his mouth is bleeding and then nothing happens to him and we see him leave 10 minutes later.
You know what it is that movie has going for it is what the first movie has going for it, which is an incredible continuation of the atmosphere. And with the first movie taking place largely in the daylight in a sleepy neighborhood, and the second one picking an empty hospital. I mean, that is just fucking classic, man. And so I don't know, but it's close. I mean, I get it. This was really, really good. I thought in this movie that two of the weaker aspects for me, the doctor I liked. To use your heel turn adage, I found that it bordered a little bit on silly when he grabbed the mask and all that. I mean,
Dr. Sam Hain.
Right.
I just
a little much.
It was silly, but like it didn't bother me that much. I didn't love that character as a whole. The fact that we just are doing because you can tell like they clearly were like, it would have been great if we had Loomis in this.
Totally, 100%.
But they can't because Donald Pleasance is fucking dead.
Right.
But, I think it mostly worked for me, and the fact that he died honestly helped my opinion of that character a lot.
Yeah. No, he needed to go.
Yeah, he had to be killed.
I thought every casting choice was excellent. We even got some of great character actor Will Patton. I love that guy.
Will Patton, he used to come into Barnes & Noble and hit on Forrest.
Holy shit. That's right.
It wasn't that creepy. She wasn't underage, but she was pretty young. But yeah.
That's funny.
Mm-hmm.
But I had one major problem with the casting. And it's the second time this actress has bothered me.
Oh, no.
And I'm starting to come to the conclusion I just don't really get why this person is really in anything, or it needs to be in different things. Can you Can you guess? Maybe.
I don't know. Judy Greer.
Yes.
Okay, listen.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Judy Greer.
Oh.
As
Name some movies then. I need
TV. That's the thing.
Ah.
And she's a really great television actress and a really great comedian. And I was distracted by her presence in this movie.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, probably different reasons than me.
Yeah,
but yeah.
Because she's Kitty from Arrested Development.
Okay.
I mean, she's just been in a shit ton of TV, and I don't know. That's the kind of thing I like her in, more sort of like bright comedy.
Well, and this is like the second
Jawbreaker. You don't remember that movie?
A long time
She's
ago.
good
Yeah.
in that.
But I mean, like this is the second movie in a couple of months. I've seen her play the identical role to, which was, she wasn't good in that either. Which was 2 times playing Ant-Man's ex-wife, and she's just like the same thing here.
I kind of like
somebody's
her
ex-wife
in the Ant-Man movies.
And yeah, but here's the thing: is that this role. Oddly enough, I thought the granddaughter was really good, and I thought that the teen actors weren't so bad. The boyfriend's kind of a dud, but
well, let's go through them all.
Sure.
I thought this because when I saw Judy Greer's second build in this Halloween movie,
right,
I was like, ooh, I don't know about that. As much as I like her,
right.
But I was very happy that, I mean, even, fucking Jamie Lee Curtis's first build in this movie, and they're really advertising this as like the Laurie Strode return to Halloween. Yeah. But the fucking POV character in this movie is the granddaughter.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, that's right. I mean, I still think it's very much Laurie Strode's character, but you're right. The glimpses
I don't think this movie
get,
is Laurie Strode's story.
But I mean, there's enough going on there. Jamie Lee gets so much in with such quiet little touches,
and she's awesome. But to me, this is a movie about a girl whose grandmother almost got killed 40 years ago.
Yeah, but I didn't right. I mean, I can't really argue with that. She is, but Jamie Lee's presence in the movie is so powerful. Just the way she
should be nominated for an Oscar.
The way she I'm sticking by my bold statement, man.
Go ahead.
Yeah. There's that scene when she comes into the restaurant.
I love that.
I mean, that's amazing.
That was a very particular kind of mania that you don't see a lot. I think, the Halloween H2O took a little bit of an easy way out where it's like she's got post-traumatic stress, but we're going to just deal with that in the form of hardcore alcoholism.
Yeah, right.
And,
right.
And that's fine. We thought that was funny at the time. But in this movie, it's more of a particular kind of mania. And there was that really great
It's a good word for it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
There's that really great scene with the kid who played Mulder and Scully's son on season 11 of The X-Files, talking about how fucking... why is she so upset?
The scene in the street with the three of them? Yeah, right.
I thought that was really interesting because he talks about, like, by today's standards, what happened to her isn't that bad.
I forgot about that line.
Yeah.
That was great. That's got to be, that is some superb writing. Yeah. Doesn't he say, whatever, so he killed 5 or 6 people. I mean, who cares? Big deal compared to what we have now or something like that. Yeah.
It's interesting. So, it's for sure something to be upset about, but I think, over time, as a people, we've been a little bit hardened, and
yes.
so I found that super interesting that he'd be like, really? Like, she sort of like devotes her life to like, what if this guy got out of prison?
Yeah, it's perplexing to him.
Like, why would she care? Like, hasn't
Right.
she fucking moved on like 100 times over from that?
Yeah. And in line with that, it also pulled off something that I didn't know I was going to go for, but I totally went for it. Was when those two reporters go to her.
Excuse me, podcasters.
No, that's right. I'm sorry. Correct. British podcasters go to her gate, and like when they pull up, I was kind of like, oh, all right, she lives in like a fortress with a fence. It's a little much. And then I totally bought it. Like
I liked those podcaster characters though, but they got killed at exactly the right point in the movie.
Completely right. Yep. And in a great way.
Yeah,
too.
sure. Halloween H2O reference.
Loved. Oh, was it?
Sure. A public bathroom, gas station bathroom kill.
Jesus Christ!
Yeah.
I don't remember that. Yeah, I tried to put that movie out my mind.
There's references. I caught references
to a lot of them.
I caught references to 1, 2, 3, 7, and
Jesus.
4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 7.
Really?
Yeah.
Boy, I was just too engrossed. I kind of did what you did in the beginning, which was getting distracted by references. So I sort of just tuned them out.
Some of them are just really obvious, like
some
her
were
looking
obvious,
out
but-
the window in
Right.
the class and seeing
Right.
Laurie instead of Michael.
That was great.
Did you
but
catch who the teacher was?
Only afterwards.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I wish
But
I would
that
have
was
at the time.
exciting. Fucking
PJ Souls. Yeah. No, that was cool. But yeah, the self-referential stuff was just beautifully done. It wasn't overdone. And what I was going to say in that restaurant scene when you were talking about the particular type of mania, she goes up to the table, she grabs somebody's glass of red wine, downs the whole thing, and then sits down, and then basically just cannot even speak. And I just thought that was really well done, and then kind of a scene that it wouldn't occur to you, I would think, as a writer, just sitting there to write. Let's write a scene where she stops in, and I feel like in another director or writer's hands, that scene would turn into some big dramatic shouting match, and instead it's just this quiet,
Judy Greer, how often do you see this in movies where someone's making a scene in a restaurant and someone else just says, I'm going to take her outside.
Right.
And they talk outside like people.
Right, exactly. And I do want to get back to Judy Greer, because that part of the problem is because her character should be so powerful, I believe, and you get a real strong glimpse of that in the very last.
Well, I think that's the
scene,
point. Is she's sort of putting away that whole thing.
That's right.
She was given by her.
That's right.
mom.
But I think another actress could have had a much more charismatic performance.
Possible.
It was just a very uncharismatic performance. It was just like this boring woman who's got like that great character actor as a husband. What's his name?
Toby Huss. And here's a character type you don't see enough of in like horror movies.
What's that?
The nice, pleasant, understanding husband.
Mm-hmm.
All right?
Yep. Not a total fucking asshole, and
I goddamn love Toby Huss, man, from *Halt and Catch Fire* and *The Adventures of Pete and Pete*.
I know him from other things, neither of those, but yes, yeah. The whole cast was really good. What did you think of in particular? We should get to it. What did you think of the handling itself of, like, because we talked about it with Jason, we've talked about it with the great Robert Englund. What did you think about this Michael Myers sort of performance, if you will?
I miss Tyler Mane.
Jesus, that's right. I forgot that fucking guy. Did you catch the reference to the Rob Zombie Halloweens?
No.
Okay, there's a scene in the dance when they're in the big high school dance, and when she finds out he's sort of flirting with that girl, she looks right at him and she goes, I would have done anything for you not to talk to that bitch, you piece of shit. And then I was like, oh, there's the Rob Zombie reference.
Oh,
Figured we'd
Hank,
get
Hank,
one.
you know I was loving the old cheating at the prom storyline. Yeah.
Oh man.
By the way, Henry, did you recognize her boyfriend?
No.
Well, Henry, you've been watching the new The Purge series, right? So we can cover it when it's over.
Yes.
Right? Have you been watching every episode of that?
I'm all caught up. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Henry?
Yeah.
Have
Yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Then surely you recognized him from that as Bobo Adam Driver.
That's right. Yes. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, only like 3 more episodes left, so looking forward to the bonus episode.
Yeah, me too. I'm looking forward to covering that.
Okay.
That's going to be good.
Yeah.
It's going to be real good. I'm going to have a lot to say.
I think we're going to have a nice give and take about that.
I think that the give and take is going to be one of the best exchanges we've had. So
okay.
I'm looking forward to it.
I've watched every episode. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I am up to date.
Yeah, I don't remember that in the contract as part of the deal.
We talked about it
with Striped. Yeah. I remember something about a pilot being watched. I don't remember about.
Did you watch the pilot?
Oh yes.
I hate you. All right.
That kid was a dud.
No, he's fine. All the kids were fine. I honestly, the kid who played Mulder and Scully's son, I wasn't that into in this. Even though that conversation was so well written. But his whole thing, his whole shtick, I liked that girl, Vicky, who was the babysitter.
Yeah, I liked her too.
The babysitress. And, when he came over, I was like, leave him away, lad. I just want to see this babysitter hang out with that little kid.
That was some funny exchange.
Yo,
that seemed like a little Danny
kid,
McBride to me.
Well, every so often that Danny McBride dialogue would pop up. God, those 2 cops later on in the movie. Holy shit. And a lot of people said it was out of place and stuff, but whatever, it's funny.
It worked. It was not long. It was very short. Yeah.
And that kid, that's a David Gordon Green thing, man. David Gordon Green, he casts good kids.
That's been pretty key to some of the massive failures of horror movies we've watched. Don't need to get into any specifics, Nightmare. But we will soon. Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah, you're like in the middle of New Nightmare right now.
Yes.
It's a good kid actor, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. Just A1. A1.
We'll talk about it this weekend.
So, answer my question though. What did you think that there? I was getting a little nervous. I have to say, this was
Michael?
there was a genuine concern on my part when the movie was happening while I was watching. They were going to go too far with you. You might be like, this might be one of your things where you're like, who gives a shit? But I didn't want to see his full face.
Oh, I don't care. I super don't care. But
I
thought they handled it okay.
They did.
And
they did.
I liked.
Came close though.
I liked the scene with all the geometric shapes in the sanitarium early on.
Yeah, the courtyard was fantastic. The way that was shot.
It looked like something out of a Roland Emmerich movie or something, or Paul W.
Emmerich,
or Paul W.S. Anderson. I don't know. And then we cut over there. I liked him the way he got the mask. That all made sense.
Yes, it did.
Yeah, and in the fucking sequels, it's always like, how the fuck is he finding this one mask every goddamn time?
Yeah.
But this made total sense.
Yeah, it was great.
And so I was pretty pleased with that. And then he's formidable. He's just the right amount of fast. It's clear they took great care, paid attention to how he moved.
Yeah,
they had fucking Nick Castle on set. So
sure, that's
good.
right. I thought of that. Yeah, as we all know, in podcast lore, a world-renowned opinion of mine, Fast Jason is my favorite Jason from Jason 6.
And the remake.
Correct. And there's one scene in this movie I thought was really effective with the way he moved, which was, I believe it's in her house, in Laurie Strode's house, where she's got those mannequins kind of lying around. and he just fucking pops out of nowhere in
Henry,
the dark, like
Henry,
real
did,
fast.
Did you know that is the one shot that made it into the movie that is original Michael Myers, Nick Castle?
I didn't know because I couldn't find the specifics
That is
of which he was
amazing
in.
that you were able to pull that out.
Well, but I didn't know it was Nick Castle.
Yeah,
yes,
but
maybe that's what made an impact on
maybe
me.
he moved just right because it's the guy.
Yeah, wow, I didn't know that. So yeah, okay, there you go. Yeah, and I have a question. What did you think of the? Because I've heard this being discussed a little bit, and it personally didn't bother me. But I mean, especially compared to those fucking Rob Zombie bullshit films. But did you think that some of the sequences were uncarpentery in their gore? Like maybe the mechanic seeing his jaw kind of pulled off of it, for a Halloween movie.
No, for sure. But it was awesome. Like the fucking okay. This is what's great. So we get the head tilt, of course, because he's got to do the fucking head tilt in these movies. But the spot they chose to fucking do it was when he just stomped down on a guy's head.
The doctor,
his skull just burst. And so it's like a legitimate thing that's a worthwhile thing to tilt your head at.
Right. That's a cool scene too, because it shows the megalomaniacal nature of the doctor too. Like he's completely about to die, and he still cannot get past the fact that he spent all these years just trying to get Michael Myers to say something. And that's his last. He chooses that to be his final words. Say something.
Yeah.
And
I was worried he'd say something.
I was too.
Yeah.
And they wisely chose to not. And I thought that the ending was fantastic. I thought
I'm not sure about the ending.
Interesting. To me, best part of the movie.
What
last
you mean?
20 minutes.
Oh,
in the
last 20 minutes. I thought you meant like the ending.
No. The last 20 minutes.
No, the last 20 minutes in the house with the 3 generations of Strode women fighting Michael is great. I love that it's all. They kill Toby Huss, which is really heartbreaking and
it is,
and
actually,
well done.
Yeah.
And then I like that it's just the 3 women versus Michael, and that really worked for me.
And it's a trap, which I really liked. And
it's a trap.
It's a trap. I don't remember if we talked about this on air or off air, but I think I was worried, and even the previews for this movie sort of made it look like we were in for an entire movie of a Laurie Strode like revenge movie, and I was really not interested.
I'm not into that either.
And it didn't turn into that, but it did turn into
exactly. And one of the things I really appreciated about it was that this is by a critic made this observation, so I don't want to like take credit for it, but the whole movie is like Michael hunting Laurie, and then there's that one shot where Laurie falls out the window like Michael does in the first one.
Yeah.
And then disappears, and Michael doesn't know where she is anymore.
Right.
And it's like from that point on, like the last 10 minutes of the movie is Laurie hunting Michael.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really clever. I have some listener shit people wanted us to talk about.
Okay.
PSEU 42, curious to hear what you gents thought they were trying to accomplish with that baby scene. And a few people wanted to know about that.
The baby scene, you got to refresh my memory.
I needed my memory refreshed. So he kills a kid in this movie, Henry.
Oh, yeah, in the truck.
Well, he kills that kid, and does he kill the little black kid too?
No, he gets away.
He gets away. Okay, so the kid in the truck, and I liked that sequence.
Yeah,
that fucking sequence with the kid. This is what David Gordon Green's good at.
Right.
You get to see him and his dad.
Yeah.
He and his dad talking just for like 30 seconds in the car about that. I like going hunting with you, but I'm kind of into dance right now. We can go hunting on the weekend. I like spending time with you, but I'm into dance. That's my thing right now. And so David Gordon Green, he just gives you a little sketch of these characters. And that's all you
Yes,
need.
right.
Because now they're not faceless anymore. You know a little something about them, and
Very
it
true.
hurts more when they get killed.
Yeah, that's very true. I agree with you. I thought, I mean, what did they want our opinion on? Just like if it was too much?
No. So that's not what I'm talking about. I found
Okay.
that interesting that he does kill a kid in this movie. Because
I found it
He's had
unsettling.
opportunities to kill kids in previous Halloween movies, and he has not done so.
Right.
But there's a moment in this movie where he passes, he sees a baby.
Oh, yes. Right.
And
Right.
He takes a look at it, and you think maybe he's going to kill this fucking baby.
Right.
And then he does not.
Right. I think that was a wise move. It's hard sometimes for me to keep track of these different killers, codes. Like Freddy doesn't have any. Jason, I can't remember because he's pretty much always killing just everybody, and everybody in the movies are always pretty much teenagers and adults. Michael Myers, as far as I could remember, besides the major one in Halloween 4 and 5 with the little niece in the clown suit.
Superman doesn't kill unless it's Zack Snyder.
Hannibal Lecter doesn't like to kill cultured people or people he thinks are of value to the planet Earth, which is one of my favorite things of his character. I love it. Or if they're
fucking Hannibal Lecter, pretentious piece of shit.
I love it.
He's like, I was going to murder you, but then you had an interesting opinion about Deflator Mouse. Yeah.
Totally right. And I know you don't care for it, but there's a great moment in Red Dragon where he's at the Baltimore Symphony.
Oh, there's a great moment in Red Dragon?
There's many. And he's at the Baltimore Symphony, and they're playing Mendelssohn's Midsummer Night's Dream music, and the flautist keeps fucking up. And so Hannibal Lecter kills him because he's ruining the woodwind section of the Baltimore Symphony. And, it's just that kind of... So with Michael Myers, I was a little bit thrown off because I thought that I didn't see the point of that because it was... Using the word gratuitous might sound a little funny in these movies, but there is a certain amount of, class, and so when he kills the kid in the pickup, I was like, you could have easily, as writers, they could have easily let that kid slip out the side door and run down the highway. I mean, I don't get why they had to bash his head into the door 6 times and then break his neck. I mean, it was just kind of like, what are we doing?
Into it.
Were you really?
Yeah.
You didn't bother you.
Nah, kill that fucker.
But if
I wanted him to kill the baby.
You.
Listen, this is.
So there's no code for Michael.
No, I don't think there should be.
Okay.
As a kid, he killed his sister. I think.
But
age,
he was a kid.
Yeah, but I think age and innocence don't matter to Michael. I think. I think after spending 40 years in a sanitarium and like he's out on this murder spree, just have him kill a baby.
Okay.
I understand why they didn't, but it's odd that they put that scene in there of him like passing that up. Like,
well, that's kind of my point.
Say what you will about Michael, but he didn't kill that baby. He's an okay guy.
Drawing the line. Yeah. Well, that's what made it even more confusing then. So, it's like, I mean, I don't know. And for all intents and purposes, he was going to kill the little black kid, but he managed to get away because Mike was preoccupied with the babysitter. So, but I don't know. So I guess he doesn't have a code. I don't know. I guess it's nice to think that he does, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Like the Joker doesn't have a code. He'll kill anything, kill anyone.
Well, I guess, yeah, the Joker's
right?
the Joker.
Yeah. Joker's a Joker.
Henry,
right.
PSEU 42 also said he could have used more time with the Strodes and less making winking references to earlier Halloween films and out-of-place Tarantino-inspired dialogue. Now, while
I'll let you address that one.
A, it's not Tarantino-inspired, it's just Danny McBride. B, I get that opinion. I'm not going to argue too much. I didn't need more time with the Strodes. I felt I got enough.
Yeah, I agree. I think that the supporting characters were good, and I think the babysitter stuff, the reporter stuff, the small scene with the cops, the doctor and Will Patton. I thought that was all fairly
Yeah,
balanced,
you know,
and I had enough.
we're going through it, and scene by scene by scene, I just really love this movie. I like all the scenes we're talking about, and I'll say David Gordon Green and Danny McBride have an economy of character, like I was talking about, by like letting you know who those characters in the car are just
Yeah.
for like 30 seconds before they kill them. That you don't need to spend that much time with anybody in this movie. You know, that one scene on the street or the scene between Judy Greer and Laurie outside the restaurant, it lets you know who these characters are. You know, Toby Huss, you know, has that one scene early on where he got
Right.
peanut butter on his penis, and like that scene is so delightful that like
Yeah.
if he died a minute after that, I would have been devastated.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you know, and Laurie has that scene with Will Patton, which I think is really great, where she says like she prayed every night for Michael to, you know, to escape
get
so
out,
that she
yeah.
could kill him, and he
Right.
says that was a stupid thing to pray for.
Yeah, that was
That's
really
a
good.
beautiful moment because it's
Yeah.
funny, but it's meaningful. And you know,
Yeah.
look, this is the second best Halloween movie. I think it's really great. I liked this movie quite a bit.
I did too. I'm gonna see it again, for sure.
Listen, I'm not going to see it again in theaters. But
No, me neither, but I'm
going
gonna
to
watch it again.
I will watch a lot in my life, I think.
I agree. I will too. I will as well, and it will join for me what is essentially, even though I have a nice soft spot for a lot of the Halloweens, basically the first 5, not the Paul Rudd one. I believe that's 6.
I think for a long time when I was in the mood to watch
But I like this
Halloween, I would watch 1, 2, and 7.
Yeah,
And now
yeah.
I'll just watch 1, 2, and this one.
That's how I feel. I mean, I still think 4 and 5 are funny if you just want to straight
They're
up.
fine. They're fine.
You're right.
Four
But-
is all right. 3 has its moments. Did you see the
No,
Silver
3
Shamrock
I'll-
kids in this movie?
3 I'll pass. Oh no, were they dancing around on Halloween night?
No, you just see some kids walk by that are wearing the masks.
Jesus Christ! I needed my fucking Halloween reference book for this movie.
Sure,
I,
sure. There's a lot. There's a lot.
I didn't take in any of that. Yeah. I mean, I got the big obvious ones, but no, for me, I agree with you. I mean, it could be, I think I even told somebody that if they haven't seen any of the Halloween movies at all, to skip everything, start with the first movie, and go right into this one. If you want to have that type of experience, that would be really interesting.
I even think like you know, like say my mom, who's never, she's probably seen Halloween in her life, but she probably remembers literally nothing about it.
Right.
I think I could recommend this movie to my mom.
Without having rewatched the first one?
Yeah, I think she'd like it.
Yeah, I think you're right. But I think it would gain a lot of power from...
Sure, maybe.
I had wished that I had
really
watched
think
the
this movie just works. It works as a movie.
Yeah, it does.
And maybe that's why the Halloween title makes sense, because it stands on its goddamn own.
Well, and I'm pretty sure they'll probably make a sequel, right?
Well, John Carpenter says this is the last Halloween movie. Meanwhile, Danny McBride and David Gordon Green say that they had such a good sequel idea that they wanted to film these back to back.
Yes, I read that.
Until they decided maybe let's learn something from the first one, see how people react to it.
Well, I think they've got their reaction. I mean, $100 million and pretty well reviewed.
Yeah, I know. So I
Yeah.
mean, we're probably going to see another one of these.
I'm all right
and
with
by
that.
the way, if I may make a prediction, the Boffo BO for this movie, Henry,
Yeah.
I think in the next 3 years, you're going to see a new Friday the 13th movie, and you're going to see a new Nightmare movie with Robert Englund.
Wow.
That's my prediction.
Jeez. Even on the heels of we're not even 10 years out for either of those remakes, huh?
We weren't 10 years out from this one.
That's true.
Mhm.
That's true. Real quick, gotta ask you about that ending. Very Last Shot type of thing. Well,
Yeah,
what
what's
are
going
we
on
what are we
there?
doing there?
It mirrors a little bit the scene of Little Michael in the first one.
Mirrors that, and it also mirrors a moment. It's I believe from the end of 4 with the niece, because she's also holding a
Whatever,
knife.
who gives a shit about that?
No, but by talking about it, because
I
it's a similar vibe.
Right, that the whole thing where you thought she was making a heel turn, and then in the next movie they just ignored it.
Exactly. So,
Yeah.
are we to believe the granddaughter is now going to become something or not?
I
just
don't
a
know.
nice.
I
dot.
don't know if I like that idea.
I don't like it
but
at all,
it's kind of
but-
interesting. It's a
But
little,
it's a cool shot.
yeah.
Yeah.
They hinted at something like that in Scream 4. I don't know. It's interesting to say the least. I think it works as an ending for this movie. I don't know if it makes me more or less excited about the prospects of another one.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. I had heard that there was something at the very end of the movie, a stinger. So I stuck around. It's not a stinger.
No, I heard there's no stinger. You just hear Michael breathing for a minute.
Breathing.
Yeah.
But then the internet went wild with something I would have known if I was a complete fucking moron, having never seen a horror movie in my life.
I'm
that
starting
he
to
may
get,
not have died.
I'm starting to get better at this, man. So I went to go see the day before I went to see Halloween. I saw Bad Times at the El Royale and snuck into Venom, and
Okay.
and the Venom movie. I saw the mid-credit sequence, you know, and then I knew there was a post-credit sequence too.
Yeah.
I got the fuck out of there.
So by saying you're meaning you got better at, you're getting better at it, meaning you just don't give a shit
I'm
anymore.
getting better at knowing what will annoy me and what I'm into.
Okay.
All right. We didn't talk about our theater going experiences. Anything to talk about with Halloween?
Nervous at first. Saw it on a Saturday night, packed theater. Everybody talking up a storm. Some good previews, but the main problem thought I was going to have was a lot of talking. And I got to tell you, about 15, 20 minutes in the movie, everybody shut the fuck up. And I was very happy. I think they got into the movie and weren't the typical horror crowd who was going to talk through everything. And,
I've got a little bit of a story.
I was hoping you did. Yeah.
Went to go see it, Williamsburg Cinemas.
Oh.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
I was in the second to last row, Henry.
Yeah.
Row behind me, there's this couple. All right? Movie starts. You know, during the credits, they're talking a little bit, but so am I. I'm like whispering, like, "Hey, that looks good."
Right. Sure.
And so.
But you know that you're gonna stop talking. That's
Yeah.
the beauty of being yourself in a movie. Yes.
So they do the Dolby sound, blah 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 blah
Yeah,
blah, whatever, and then the sound stops, and then all you hear in the theater is this dude is watching a YouTube video on his phone
No
in the
fucking
back
way.
row with the fucking sound on.
No way.
I turn around, all right?
Uh-oh.
I'm looking at him. At first I just give him a turn, the old turn.
Give him the head turn.
Sure.
Or is it like a half swivel body
Sure,
turn?
he
Yeah.
shuts the thing off. Then,
Oh.
then his phone rings, Henry.
Oh.
He answers the phone. I turn around. Here's what I do. I plant myself. I'm not even looking at the screen. I'm just staring at him.
Nice.
All right? Didn't stop staring at him. His girlfriend.
Michael Myers style.
Yeah, his girlfriend sitting next to him. She looked creeped out. I don't give a shit. All right? So he starts to stop. He's like he's talking on the phone like, oh, I'm in a movie. I gotta go. You know, one of those.
Right.
But then the movie, he gets off the phone and without missing a beat, just continues to look at his phone with the bright light on.
Oh my
So here's
God.
what I do. I
What do you
stay
do?
turned to him. I get eye contact with him. I go, hey, are we going to have a fucking problem?
You
All right?
did not.
I swear to God.
Holy shit.
I said that shit.
Whoa.
He goes, no. All right. And I think I did a good job, all right?
Wow. Good for you,
Because
man.
after that, we didn't really hear him much.
That applause.
Thank you.
I am giving some. Yes,
all right, I shut it down, and a great reminder to all of you out there that everything's better at home.
That. That's fucking great. And not to take points away from you, but I love that you were in Williamsburg because you probably you probably wouldn't get a fight in Williamsburg. If you're doing that shit in
but you know what?
Penn Station,
No.
Manhattan Theater,
No,
you
man.
might get, I don't know, you might get.
It
but
was a different crowd. It was a Wednesday in the middle of the day, all right?
no, it was not your
So,
okay.
it was not like the hipster crowd. Like, I went to go see, like, Independence Day Resurgence at that theater, like, at night.
Yeah.
And it was just, like, everybody, like, ready to, like, oh, we're going out to see, like, a bad movie.
right.
And but this movie, it was, like, like the dregs of Williamsburg.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
Good for you, man. I am now inspired.
Yeah.
So if I'm not around for a while, you'll know what happened to me, folks. I said it here on air.
Yeah.
So if I have to do something
started a fight.
Well, it almost happened to me in Jurassic World. Fallen
That's right.
Kingdom.
Yeah. True.
Damn close.
Hey.
But yeah.
Hey. Yeah. Are we gonna have a fucking problem? All right. So that's it. Halloween. I give it a 4. It's my number 2 Halloween movie. My MVP is you gotta go Jamie Lee, right? And my or whatever. If you're not going Danny McBride and David Gordon Green, you gotta go Jamie Lee. And then LVP. I did not love that kid. The
granddaughter.
No, the boyfriend of the babysitter.
Oh,
no, the
okay.
granddaughter I really liked. I'd never seen her in
I did
anything
too.
before, and I think she's really good.
I agree.
All right. Who's your LVP? You're gonna give it to Judy Greer. What's the
My LVP is Judy Greer. My MVP is Academy Award nominee Jamie Lee Curtis for this role. And I'm also going 4 stars. And it's my 3rd favorite Halloween movie.
What's your superhero count?
Fuck off. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, this bonus episode was kind of sprung on us by sprung on me. I didn't have quite enough time to do one. I'm going to have one though for you at the next episode because I think it's going to be fun.
Henry, give me the theme. Give me the theme.
You want to? You just want to hear the theme anyway? There's nothing.
I'm going to do 2 off the top of my head.
Ooh. Well, I guess I can do 1 too. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Okay. What was that?
That's the Pixar theme. I'm sorry. That.
Okay. Henry, the girl plays Vicky, the babysitter.
Yeah.
She plays Carolina on the Marvel Hulu show Runaways.
Look at you.
Okay, recognize
Wow.
her. She's great on that, and I liked her a lot here too. I think she's gonna be big. Like she could have lead roles and shit.
She's very charismatic. She really
holds the
a
screen.
lot of,
Holds the screen.
Yeah.
And of course, Toby Huss played Artie, the strongest man in the world, the hometown superhero in the Adventures of Pete and Pete. So there you go.
Wow, well done. Judy Greer, of course, in Ant-Man and Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Of course.
So,
so there you have it.
Good enough.
Yeah,
maybe we don't have to do it.
Abridged.
Yeah, maybe we don't have to do it.
Maybe you should. So,
I should.
Maybe you should watch the rest of The Purge. So, so this has been a bonus episode. Hope you enjoyed it.